All the action packed in 180 minutes. Power Breakfast with Tessa Dooms. Weekdays 6 to 9 a.m.
The time is 7:52. You're on Power Breakfast with Tessa Dooms this morning. On the line with us, we have Paul Makube, Senior Agricultural Economist at FNB. We want to get insight into a story around or China as a new avenue or big avenue for exports from the agricultural sector in South Africa. Are we looking here at potentially an expanded relationship, a deeper relationship, and a more lucrative one for our farmers? Paul, welcome to Power Breakfast this morning. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Tessa, and your listeners. Thanks for having me.
So what are we looking at here? Are there more opportunities bilaterally between our two countries, China and South Africa, for more agricultural products to head their way?
Yes, definitely. There is an opportunity for us to actually entrench ourselves in the Chinese market in terms of agricultural produce. It has been, over the years, a steady and slow process in terms of getting our fruits across, largely our fruit. Given that it's, our biggest, export commodity from an agricultural perspective, we still a very small negligible player in the, Chinese market in terms of agricultural, produce. China is, one of the leading export, importers of agricultural products. So there is an opportunity for us to, entrench ourselves into the Chinese market.
Sure. I mean, I was listening to Donald Trump yesterday talking about the fact that China is struggling because of the tariffs and the U.S. not taking their goods. But I mean, the U.S. is about a 300 million person population. China is 1 billion. Like, China's got lots and lots of people. So when we say that our market share there could grow, is it really just because there are just so many people that there's so much opportunity, or have some of their other partners started to wane in their agricultural supply?
It's a huge population. It's a big GDP country, and therefore, a lucrative market if you, get, traction into that market.
Yeah.
While he's saying that from an agricultural perspective, the U.S. is the biggest, exporters of, agricultural produce from, soya beans to beef and pork.
Yeah.
Obviously, with this tit for tat, there is going to be a displacement of U.S. produce in the Chinese market, and therefore, as China is looking at the more diversification supplies, and I think the current turmoil regarding international trade, has brought forward the need to actually diversify, but also ensure that the other regions grow, so that they can also take your goods, you export. So China is one of the big exporters, but it's also a consumer.
Big consumer.
Big consumer of agricultural produce.
And I mean, I think you're so right there. The U.S. does leave this potential gaping hole if this trade war takes root. And those products that you're talking about there, red meat and beans, we are actually really good in terms of competing in those markets. Surely what the U.S. may lose, we could gain.
Definitely. It's a question of us, making sure that we also benefit from the situation. If you look at the commodities that we export into the U.S., the citrus, we can increase our share of the of the export market, of the export opportunity there, and the U.S. will face over 100% tariffs, obviously, out of the Chinese market from that perspective, and therefore allows us as an exporter to actually increase our share. In the world, we are the second largest citrus exporter, therefore that provides us with an opportunity to do that. We're also a big nut exporter into into China, macadamia nuts, pecans, and the U.S. Also, a big exporter of nuts into the Chinese market, and its displacement provides us with an opportunity for us to actually increase the volumes that we sell to the U.S. From a meat perspective, historically in the past 5 years, we had a considerable traction into the Chinese market, but due to phytosanitary issues, we saw the decline. But last year we saw a pickup, and with this changed tariff regime, that changes the whole calculation, and therefore we then sit in a position to actually increase our export into the Chinese market.
And I do think that this current terrain, in terms of the ways in which the trade war is panning out, has been a signal to us to strengthen our bilateral trade with different countries. I think the US may have overplayed its hand here, thinking that everybody was just going to wait around for it. But I do hope that from our side as South Africa, that we also think about the ways in which we increase our trade on the African continent. We are also a billion over here. In terms of the market opportunity here. So I hope that we're going to make some strides in that sense as well. But thank you so much, Paul, for giving us some insight into that story. I think opportunity. Let us seize it, South Africa. That is Paul Makube, the Senior Agricultural Economist at FNB. After the 8 o'clock news, we're going to be talking about unemployment. I know it's Workers' Day, and so we want to talk about employed people. But when you have, and this again, the Stats SA tells us at the expanded definition, we are at over 40% unemployment of people who could be working. So we need to talk about the unemployed as well. And we'll be talking to Dr. Dabang Sefalafala after 8 o'clock about what unemployment means for our country, our psyche, how it is that we create the society that we are in. Unemployment is not just about money. It's not just about your ability to put food on the table. It is also about how you see yourself as a person, how you engage in the world, and what kind of interactions in society we have. Oftentimes, when you ask somebody who they are, the first thing you ask is, what do you do? Imagine if your answer to that is nothing, and you're 30 years old. What does it mean for you? That's a conversation we're going to have after the 8 o'clock news. But right now, Nompumelelo Ngobeni stands by for the news.